Hi guys, it's Sheila Shimmers. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a different background because I'm not at home, but I wanted to review these products and I actually just got them in the mail right before I was about to leave my house. So I packed them with me because, I don't know, I'm super excited to dig into them. MOIRA Beauty is something that I discovered recently. I'm new to this brand, but everything that I have tried from them has really impressed me, so I wanted to go ahead and try more stuff from them. This one is the You I Desire Destiny Eye and Face Palette. It does bring some eyeshadows, some blushes, and some highlights. So I'm super excited to try this. There's also two more things that I want to try with it. Before we get started, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe below and like this video, and let's just go ahead and get started. Like I mentioned, this one is a MOIRA Beauty You I Desire Eye and Face Palette. It retails for $22 and you get 20 eyeshadows in here, 1 blush and 3 highlights. The only downfall for this palette, you can see it right when you open it, is that it does not have a mirror. This packaging is also not magnetic or anything, it's just a little cardboard packaging. But there's something that I really mind because of the price of this. It's really inexpensive. You get your eyeshadows right here. Like I said, you get 20. There's 13 shimmers and 7 mattes. And then on this side, you get your highlights and your blushes. I think the blush is supposed to be never ending, but I don't really understand how this one right here would be a highlight for anybody. I thought this one was the blush, but it just looks like a blush that has a little bit of shimmer on it. I will be swatching them later when I before I use them. This one is very deep, so I think I'll probably be just using this one as a highlight and this one as a blush. But I do think the eyeshadows are really stunning. You can see them right there. I really love this palette. I think it's gorgeous and I can't wait to start using it. I did prime my eyes already, but I do want to mention the other two things that I got. The first one is the MOIRA Mega Concealer. I did try this out along with the foundation. I love them both, but the concealer shade that I got was a little bit too dark for me, so I wanted to order another one because I loved it, and I ended up getting 200, which is Latte. The other one I have, I think I brought it with me. The other one I have is Custard, so you can see them. So you can see them right there side by side. This one is the lightest, and this one is Custard. So hopefully that one would match me a little bit better. It does come in 12 shades. I have 2 of them right here, and it retails for $12. So it's super inexpensive. If you are on the lookout for a good concealer, I would highly recommend this one. Next thing I got was the MOIRA Scandalous Metallic Duo. You can get this in 5 different shades, and it does bring 2 metallic shades on each side. I got the one that has RUMBA and TANGO. If you look on their website, you can kind of see how they swatch, but they're just really pretty, and they're just kind of like that glittery topper, I would say. Ooh. Oh, so one side is actually just glitter. So you would use the left side, which is kind of like the gel, and you would put this on your lid, and then you can top it off with some glitter on this side, which is just glitter. So I wish I had known that before I made this mess. This one is a little bit expensive. It does retail for $18, but like I said, you can get them in 5 different shades. I just love this one because it's such like a bronzy, but also with like a tint of pink, and it's very like peachy. So I loved it. I'm wearing Old Peach today. My nails are peach, so I think I'm gonna be going for a peachy look today. I'm gonna dig into the palette right away because I already primed my eyes, like I said, and I think I'm gonna start with the color Adore right here, which is a matte transition shade. It's called Ardor. Sorry, it's hard to see because the sun is really blinding me. The thing is, like, I was counting on this to have a mirror. I hadn't opened it yet, and I was like, oh, I'll be fine, I'll have a mirror with me. But the only other thing that I have here that has a mirror is this Urban Decay palette. So I'm just gonna be holding this up because I'm just staring in front of a window, so really have no choice. So I'm gonna be placing this as my transition, like I said. And so far you can definitely see that the color is showing up. I'm going to be blending this upwards towards my brow, and you can see how easy right there the color just blended out. Like, that was so easy. If you are a beginner, if you're just starting out and you want something that works, it's inexpensive, you don't want to spend a lot of money, I would highly recommend checking out this brand. I think I'm going to take a little bit of this shade right here. This one is called Amore. This palette has a little bit of kickback, but it's nothing too crazy. It's really not something that bothers me. I'm putting this in the outer corner with that same brush that I was using. Is the Morphe M514. It's literally my favorite brush of all brands. It's just the best. So you can see right there that brown is very pigmented. It's blending out well. I'm just packing this in the outer corner. I never noticed how hard it is to like do your makeup holding a mirror up. Like, this is insane. And the bad thing about this palette is that it doesn't really like stay up, like the mirror just falls down. Struggles. Alright, so that blended out really nicely. I still want to blend that a little bit further, but I'm going to take just an empty brush with no product on it because I don't want it to go too dark, like high up on my crease. So I'm just blending this out. This brush really has nothing on it. Taking the same Luxie brush that I was using before, I'm going to jump into the shade Adore. And this one is a little bit more on the red side. It's actually red. I don't know if this one, I think this one's a matte. I'm hoping for it. It looks a little bit like a soft shimmer, but I think it's a matte. And I just want to give the look a little bit more, just in, I don't know, intensify it a little bit better. So I'm going to be putting this in the middle, right on my lid. And kind of bringing it a little towards my inner corner. And then I'm going back to Ardor right here. This one is the first shade that we applied, and I'm just going to be blending out kind of on top of that red, so there's not such a harsh line between, you know, the red and my lid. So I just want to soften it. The last thing I want to do is just darken that brown, so I'm going back to MOIRA, and I'm just gonna pack this up a little bit better, or just intensify it a bit more. I really like where this is going. I feel like I'm not really on my comfort zone right now because I'm putting some reds in there, so I don't know, I really like it. But you can, I want to swatch some of these before I keep going because I'm not really gonna use them, and I just love how they look. So I just want to show you guys like the pigmentation and the colors of these. They are just so pretty. This palette is honestly unbelievable. The shimmers are really pretty, but I'm going to be topping them off with a, you know, like glitter topper. So I just wanted to show you how the actual shimmers just look by themselves. So the next thing I'll be doing is putting some shimmer on my lip before I use the metallic topper, and I'm going to be going for this one right here, and I think the name of this one is Devotion. So I'm going to be taking that one and just putting it on my inner corner. These feel super creamy. I can barely tell. I would have wished, if I were going to use this by itself, I probably would have put some concealer underneath just to make this shimmer pop a little bit more. But I'm super impressed with the mattes. I think in person it looks stunning. It's just a little bit hard because I'm filming with my iPhone and I don't think it picks up, you know, this little things or details too well. So I'm working with what I got here. I hope you guys understand. I will come a little bit closer once I'm done so you can see how everything looks. Alright, this look is getting super easy to just deal with. I'm gonna jump into this little metallic duo, and I'm gonna be using the shade Rumba, which is the kind of gel one, and I think I'm going to swatch it for you because I want you to see how it looks. It's right there. This is kind of the spoolie that it brings. It's a little bit flat, so I kind of like that because I think it makes it really easy to just go over your cut crease. And I'm just going to be going over that shimmer that I applied. Alright, so that is how it's looking. I want to put a little bit more, but you could leave it at this, and you can also apply the glitter. I don't really know if I want to go with the glitter because I don't want that mess. I feel like every time I use glitter it just stays on my eyes for days, but this looks really, really pretty. You can see right there, now that the light went down a little bit, that it's really stunning. I don't know how, just for the curiosity, I think I'm gonna go to the other side because I want to see how you would apply the glitter. It has this little kind of flat spoolie right there, and I think you just go up to your lid and kind of press it down. Actually, let's just do it just for the heck of it. So I'm going and I'm just pressing this down, and I mean, it works. It definitely makes it a little bit more metallic-y. You can tell right there. It's not applying super chunky, which is what I thought would happen with this applicator. And it's kind of easy to just like slide around. Do I think this is worth $18? I don't know. I don't think this is worth $18. I feel like that's really expensive. I feel like for those you can get kind of like the Urban Decay ones, which is kind of a high-end brand, versus this one. But I'm not taking anything away from this one. This is actually beautiful. I just think it's a little bit expensive, especially for, I don't know, it feels a little bit dry in my opinion. I have to go back into the little bottle a couple of times to get some product onto my spoolie, and you can tell right there that it's not really applying on this side. So I don't know what it would be. I'm going to check it a little bit, but this is really beautiful. So if you like how this is looking, I would definitely check them out. They do have some different shades. I'm glad I got this one. I'm not saying anything. I don't know, I'm having a little bit of trouble, and I think, you know, $18 is a lot of money. That's all I'm saying. I feel like that is where I'm gonna leave it, and then I'm gonna go back into the other side before that sets or dries, and I'm gonna put some of this glitter on it. It's a much softer glitter. I think it's like a loose pigment kind of, not really glitter, but it's really beautiful. Yeah, that is definitely like a loose pigment. You can tell right there. I'm kind of happy to see where this is at. I think I'm going to leave it at this, and then I'm going to be doing my face makeup today. I'm going to go a little bit softer, and then we'll go back to this palette and use the blush and highlight. And I also want to show you guys the concealer. So I'm just going to put some foundation on, and I'll be back. When it's on, I'm going to be applying this Mega Concealer by MOIRA Beauty. This is how it looks like. I have the shade 200 here, and then I also have Custard, but I want to try this one to see if it fits my skin a little bit better. This is how the applicator looks. This concealer is vegan and cruelty-free, in case you were wondering. So if that is something you're into, definitely check out this one. It is very full coverage, and I find that it doesn't really crease on me whatsoever. I am definitely liking this shade a lot more than the other one I have, because the other one was very yellow and like very peachy, but it was actually darker than my skin. So I don't know, maybe when I'm tanner I can use that one, but or maybe I can mix them. Blending this in. I'm not gonna set that yet because I wanted to do some cream contouring. I'm gonna be using this one by RUMBA Beauty. This one is the Double Take Sculpt Stroke Duo Stick. It brings one highlight on one side, and I'm not gonna be using this one obviously because our palette has a highlight, but I will be using the contour side. I have the shade Honey Honey. It's like from their medium category. So I'm just gonna be putting this right there, and I think that was a lot, but so now I'm going to be blending this out. I might use, I don't know if I brought a stippling brush, so I might just use my sponge. So I'll just be blending this out with my sponge. It's super easy to use, I feel like. It is very expensive. It was like about $40, but I felt like it was worth it just because it was so easy to use. Usually contour just takes a long time for me. That's why I don't like it, but this one just blends really nicely. The shade matched me pretty well. See, super easy. I don't find that I always have to set this. I like to just go in with a bronzer and setting it, but I don't think that I need to. I also felt like I could have gotten away with the lighter shade of this one's, but I kind of like having the option of something darker. And it's also super creamy. It doesn't really dry down, and for people with dry skin, you have to be a little bit careful with cream contouring because sometimes it just emphasizes your dryness. Like if this stick is really dry, which is what happens with most of them, like the Anastasia foundation, a lot of people love that one as a contour stick, but I just can't do it. Now I'm just gonna go back to the palette that we were using because I want to use those blushes and a highlight. So I think I'm gonna jump into this shade right here. This one is gonna be my blush. This one is Never Ending, and I feel like it's gonna be really pigmented. So I'm going light, and wow, that is like my favorite shade for blush. Looks really, really nice. Really, really cute. Super easy to apply, really pigmented. I like putting a lot of blush because I love blush, and also because it is the first thing that fades off from your makeup, and I like having blush, not gonna lie. Now I'm gonna go with the highlight, and this one scares me a little bit because it's very pinkish, but we're gonna see. Okay, I cannot even tell on this camera if it's picking it up. Oh, I see something. It's not much of like a blinding highlight, but it's definitely there. I like that this shade is so pinkish because it really blends out with that blush, and it just looks really, really nice. It is super buttery. Oh, I wish you guys could see how it looks in person because it just looks really good. Like this camera's not even doing it justice. In person, it looks really, really pretty. So I'm gonna go with a much heavier application because I want you guys to be able to see it. Oh, I wish you could be seeing this. Okay, I feel like now we're getting somewhere. So that looks super nice. I'm gonna go back into the palette. I'm gonna finish off under my eyes, and I think I'm gonna be going to the shade Adore right here. And I'm gonna be taking this very close to my lash line. And then I'm gonna put Adore right underneath that one. There's our eye look. I am going to be just putting on some lashes, finishing up my face, and I'll be back to give you guys my final thoughts. Makeup is done. I am in the middle of trying out the Pacifica a light clean foundation, so that's what I have on my face right now. But talking about the eyeshadows and everything that we tried on this palette right here, I have to say I really, really like it. I have some complaints. The fact that it doesn't have a mirror, I feel like, I don't know. I think the other one that I tried before did have a mirror. I can't remember right now, but I think it did. So the fact that this one is much bigger and it does have some face products, I find it a little bit hard to believe that they didn't think about putting a mirror in here. The other thing is that it's not magnetic, but that doesn't really bother me because the packaging kind of seems very sturdy, and I think the shimmers and the mattes really blend it out really nicely. You have a lot of shimmers right here. You have more shimmers than mattes, which is something that I like because that gives you a lot more just you know, colors to work with, and you can create more looks with it. I think this shimmer applied really nicely, but I definitely needed that topper to kind of, you know, it wasn't really a shimmer that impressed me. It was very buttery, but it just didn't look like much on my eyes. The matte was something that I liked a lot more. So yeah, I'm gonna come a little closer so you can see how the mattes look like and the shimmers right there. I'm a little confused with this part right here because this one looks dark enough to be a bronzer, but they said that there were 3 highlights and 1 blush, and this one just looks like a blush to me. I don't think this would be a highlight for anybody, correct me if I'm wrong, but it just looks very deep and red. I really love this blush. I think it looks stunning. It definitely was very pigmented, super easy to blend it out, and it just applied really nicely on my skin. And the highlight actually looks really nice. I have to build it up a lot for it to come up on camera, but in person it just looks stunning. It was very buttery, didn't really emphasize the texture on my skin, which is something that I'm always looking for in highlights. And also it didn't look really dry. I know there's a lot of highlights that just look very dry and patchy. This one didn't do that to me, but like I said, I'm super confused with these 2 shades right here. I don't think I'll ever be able to use them. I feel like the bottom one can definitely be a highlight for deeper skin tones, but this matte right here just looks like a blush to me, so a little confused. Overall, I think this palette is definitely worth it if you are looking for something, you know, that has neutral shades, that has a little bit more color, that definitely has more night looks, because this row right here is very dark and deep. I think this is a really good palette to get. I would just be a little bit confused with this shades right here. The concealer definitely fit me a lot better. This one is a shade 200 versus the custard that I originally got. This one just seemed a little bit more neutral. The other one was too peachy and a little bit darker for my skin tone. And on the website, the swatches didn't really look like that, so it was a little bit confusing to order for the first time, but now I know that this is my shade. I really liked it. As you can see, it does cover up a lot. It's definitely full coverage. It doesn't crease, so it's a really good option if you're looking for something like this. The last thing I want to talk about is the Scandalous Metallic Duo. I feel like this was so pretty. The gel side was a little bit dry. I don't know why, but I feel like that is kind of a downfall and something that scares me, because I did end up paying almost $20 for this. But I love the fact that they put a loose pigment on the other side to kind of like complement each other, because they both look really stunning by themselves, but together they're just really pretty. You can see how this eye look just looks really nice, and I really like it. Yeah, but so far I think this is worth it. I would probably only purchase one, because I don't think that going and spending, you know, $20 on this every time is worth it for me. But I feel like these things are just nice to have around, just to, you know, give your look a little bit something different. And I don't know, I think I really like everything that I used today. I ended up using this So Natural eyelashes from TJ Maxx. They were like $5, and I actually really like them. I feel like this is my kind of eyelash. It's not super bulky, it's not super in your face, it's not super dramatic, but it's definitely there, and it's making my lashes a little bit, you know, a little bit more bigger and plumped, so I like it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry about the messy background, but as always, don't forget to subscribe below, like this video, and I will see you on my next one. Bye!